All right, everyone. Welcome. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be back. I don't think I've seen you guys in weeks. I've been traveling the globe. Dr. Staci here. So if you are a guest tonight, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited you joined us. If you are a brand partner with LifeWave, it is good to see your faces again on here, all 158 plus of you. So tonight we have two incredible testimonials. Marci will be interviewing them, and then I will come back on in a little bit to share the science and tech of how X39 stem cell activation technology actually works. But I wanted you to know that the information that we're sharing tonight with LifeWave's product and their testimonials is not intended to prevent, treat, or cure, or diagnose anything that's going on with you. If you have anything at all that you need to discuss about your health, you will be doing that with your healthcare practitioner or your doctor. And of course, if you're pregnant or nursing or on medications, check with your doctor and practitioner as well. With that, Mars, I'm going to turn it over to you to do our interviewing.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Staci, and it's great to have you back. We've missed you. So let's move to Jan. Jan, we would love to hear from you. Just how did you hear about this LifeWave X39 and what was happening in your life before X39 and what is happening now?
Well, before I found out about this, I was in a lot of pain in my back. I've had x-rays, I've had an implant, and nothing seems to work. I've been on pain meds and nothing seems to work. My husband and I had our roof replaced, and Eric was the contractor, and we met him, and that was only through the repairing of the roof. Well, we got the roof done, and I don't know how long it had been. We got a call from Eric, and my husband, Ken.
Hi.
Ken?
So Eric had been on our roof more than once, and he wanted to replace the roof. We got that done. Then I got another call from him. He said, look, he says, I need to come and see you and Jan. He says, something's telling me I need to come and see you and Jan. But we had traded information before, and come to find out he and I knew a lot of the same people through another route. But so he came over and he walked in and he introduced us to LifeWave. And he said he wanted to put these patches on Jan's back. Well, I was sitting right where I am, and she was sitting in a different spot over in a chair. So I just sat here and allowed him to, and I trusted Eric enough, I allowed him to put the patches on Jan's back. I'll let her tell you the rest.
Well, I don't know how to start. I was sitting in this chair and I was in a lot of pain. And I actually had my feet up on the ottoman, and Eric asked me to stand up, and we used the patches, and instantly there was no pain at all. And I said, let me see if I can climb the stairs. So I walked over to the stairs and lifted one foot on the step.
I'm trying to get rid of a Carol.
Next step. Anyway, I was amazed. There was no pain, and I was able to go up the stairs, and I didn't hesitate. I went back down the stairs and I went up again. And
we should add in here that this whole time she got up out of the chair by herself, which was a completely new event. Walked across the room, and Eric realized that this is something brand new for her. She was in tears as she walked across the room. Eric saw this. He broke into tears. I broke into tears just to watch her go up the stairs as fast as she did, and to turn around and come back down. It was just incredible. 28 seconds is all it took for her to get relief from the pain that she'd been suffering from for several years. that nothing else had seemed to work with.
Oh,
Wow.
there's another thing. I was never able to stand up at the shower. It hurt so bad to stand there and take a shower. I finally got a chair, and I would have to sit down in the chair and take my shower, but not anymore.
Wow. So I want to know, Jan, what patches did Eric put on your lower back?
Icewave.
Yeah, it's the icewave.
The icewave took that pain away. Isn't
Yeah.
that amazing? Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. So I have something special, if it's okay. Eric sent me the video of this day, and I'm going to share it now because I think you all would like to see it. I know that when I watched it today, it brought tears of joy to me, Jan. So with your permission, I'm going to share this. And Dr.
I've never
Staci,
seen this.
oh, this is going to be fun for you. Dr. Staci, if you could continue to let folks in, that would be great. And let's see how I do on this. So here we go.
Jan. Jan.
What?
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
How many years?
3
3 years?
at
Was-
least.
30 seconds? Took 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Come here. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna try these stairs.
Okay.
Oh my God, don't tell me. Oh my God. I don't believe this. I don't believe this.
Believe it.
Oh my God, I just don't believe
When
it.
are you supposed to stay back again?
That's special. That's special. Jan, thank you so much for sharing your story tonight, because your story will help other people. And I know it was a little scary for you tonight to come on, but you did it. And thank you for that. Thank you. So we're going to move now over to Pastor Withers. And Pastor Withers has been a pastor for 39 years of service to all. And I would love to know your story. How did you learn about LifeWave, and what was going on with you, and what's going on with you now, Pastor?
Well, back in May, the last week in May, my brother and I went to Kansas City, my wife along with us, and one of my cousins, Pastor Michael Warren, told me after the service that he wanted to talk to me about something. And he started sharing with me about the LifeWave patches. And of course, I've got several health issues, so I told him I was interested in knowing. He sent me the testimonials, and I listened to them, and got a chance to talk to Eric, and told him that I wanted to sign up and try them. And so I did get the patches, and I'm a diabetic. I have sarcoidosis, which is a lung disease. And for the last few years, I've been breathing at about 72% on a good day. And every day wasn't good. I have high blood pressure. And as a result of being a diabetic for several years, I had neuropathy in my feet. And also deal with sleep apnea. Within 3 weeks of taking the patches, the neuropathy in my feet cleared up. My diabetes, I went to my endocrinologist, and my diabetes went from 8.7 to 6.5. And I just saw the doctor again this week, and my number is now 6.0.
How long have you been on the patches?
I've been on the patches now since the last week in May up until now, but I'm saying that I got good results in just 3 weeks.
It's amazing how your numbers went from 8.7 to 6. That's a big deal.
It is. my sarcoidosis, I have a lung disease called sarcoid. And anytime the doctor would take a picture of my lungs, x-ray of my lungs, the specs on my lungs looked like a cancer patient. And I've had a couple of surgeries, and when the doctors, were pre-tested me, they did an x-ray, and they had to call my pulmonologist to get me clearance for this surgery because they always thought I had cancer, but it's the specs of my lungs looked like a cancer patient. I developed sarcoid at the age of 23 years old, and they treated me aggressively, and it went in remission until I was age 47. It came back with a vengeance. And the doctor told me that I would probably have to deal with it the rest of my life. I've been taking prednisone. I've been doing albuterol updrafts. I've been doing the Advair powder puff. I've been doing the rescue inhalers. But in the last 3 months, my lungs have cleared up. And all the things that I mentioned to you that I've been doing, I'm not doing any of it now.
What can I ask you? What patches you're wearing, Pastor?
I'm wearing the X39. I'm wearing the Aeon and the Carnosine. I just started the last week wearing the X49.
That's so great. The X39 is your stem cell activation. Aeon's going to reduce that inflammation in the lung, and Carnosine and X49 are wonderful support for the heart, brain, and lungs. So Carnosine, great organ support. Oh, and also Carnosine organ support for the pancreas. I mean, Eric got you on a good customized pack, I would say.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It has worked wonders for me because I've been taking this prednisone every day since I was 47 years old. And with that comes water retention. Then you got to take fluid pills to get the fluid off of you. So my body's just been going back and forth. And the doctor told me several years ago, he said, you will not live a full life. He said, you got too much going on. You're diabetic, you got high blood pressure, you have sarcoid. You take these medications and there's a battle going on in your body, and somebody gonna win, and it won't be you. And I told him that day that I was gonna live till I died. But I went to my kidney doctor just a few weeks ago, and he told me that my kidney function had greatly improved since January. I just started the patches in May. And then he checked my blood pressure. He said, wow. I said, what's wrong? He said, man, you never had a perfect blood pressure. He said, your blood pressure is 120/80. He said, Mr. Withers, you're probably going to live to be 100 years old. Of course, I told him I wasn't trying to accomplish that, but I was wanting to just have a good quality of life. So
what a story. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, that has really blessed me. The last thing that occurred, I'm on a CPAP, and I did my annual visit to the sleep clinic. And after they did what they needed to do, she said, Mr. Withers, when we put you on a CPAP, your number was at 17. And so we had to give you a CPAP to use. They said the goal was to get that number down to 5. I said, well, what is the number of the day? She says 1.1. She said, I can't believe it. She said, whatever you're doing, you're on track. They had to lower the volume of air that I'm getting in my CPAP because she said, you don't need all that air now. And so, Mr. Withers, whatever you're doing, you're on track.
Wow.
I've had those things that happen to me, and it has completely changed my life. I flew last week to Atlanta, my brother and I, and went up on a plane, came back the next day. I didn't take any of the medications that I usually take, and then had to take my updraft machine with me and all that stuff. And I haven't lived like that. Everywhere I went, I had to take my medicine bag, my updraft machine, and all that kind of stuff. So it has completely changed my life.
Do you feel more free?
Yes, ma'am. Totally free. Totally free.
Well, and so have you been sharing this with your congregation? Like, tell me, what have you been sharing your story?
I shared it with congregations, and I guess since I've started this, I'm sure about 25 people have signed up, and you know, people are asking me what's going on. I was in a setting a few weeks ago, and I shared my Testimonia. And I've been getting just all kind of calls from that. You know, people are just excited about it, and everybody wants to change their life. And I know that everybody if they are with 50, 60, 70 years old, we got something going on. And so I'm just excited about it. And of course, when you experience what I call a miracle, you can't help but to tell somebody about it.
You had a miracle.
Eric has been a blessing to me. You know, he's walked me through this, and he's helped me to sign people up. And I finally got to the point that I think I can do it now, but it's just been a blessing. I don't have a plan to stop using the patches.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy. I mean, everything that was an issue got, resolved. I mean, and these were not small issues, David.
Right.
And
Right.
so I'm so excited. You have your life back, your freedom back, your health back. You're going to, what did the doctor say? Mr. Withers, you're going to live a long life now. I mean,
Right.
that's
Right.
awesome. Thank you, God. Thank you,
Yeah.
God, for Eric. Seriously, thank you, God. We're just supposed to be sharing this so we can help so many. So thank you so much for coming on and telling us your story. You will help so many people because of your story tonight. And thank you for coming on.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna now move it back to Dr. Staci. And Dr. Staci, can you tell us the science? What's going on here? How can we have these stories that are life-changing? You know, tell us, please tell us.
Well, I am sure there's not a dry eye on here tonight. Wow. I mean, from Jan's video to the pastor's testimonial of no hope to now there's complete hope. Like this, how is that such different situations, different health conditions or issues, but yet they both have experienced amazing results in a short period of time. Actually, when you look at the body's ability to repair itself, I mean, they've experienced a lot in a short period of time. That just tells you right there, our body is amazing. When you help it do what it is designed to do, that's what our technology does. So I want to explain the science and tech and how this works so you guys can understand it. If you're guests tonight, this is going to be, I hope, very easy for you to understand as well too. So the patch that they were talking about, the first patch, the primary patch, is the X39 stem cell activation patch. It looks like this or this, maybe this one. This one's a little cleaner. I have a bunch of them sitting here on my desk. They go on and off of my body all day long. But this is what it looks like. It's a non-transdermal patch. And what that means is nothing is entering the body. I'm sure you're familiar with transdermal patches, pain patch, nicotine patch, birth control patch. They're putting a chemical, a substance, or a nutrient into the body. This does not do that. Now, you heard the pastor's testimonial. To me, that sounds like there's a lot going on in his life medically, right? A lot of medications, a lot of different types of treatments and things that he's dealing with. This puts nothing into your body. So there are no contraindications with any medications that you're on, no interactions or side effects. You can safely and effectively use this patch without having to worry if it's going to mess something up medically in your body that your doctor has prescribed for you. Now, obviously, like I said, I'm not your doctor, so please check with your doctor on your health conditions. But as you can see from the pastor here, he had no problems using this patch because nothing was entering his body. So how does this work if there's nothing entering? This is a wearable light technology. So I live here in Florida. I'm on the East Coast. It's dark. It's almost 9:30. Marci's over on the West Coast. It's still the middle of the day over there, right? Such a crazy thing. But if I were to go outside right now, I couldn't see the neighbors down the road or the deer or the horses or the cows unless I was looking through night vision goggles. If I look through night vision goggles, then I could see the outline of the people or the animals because of the heat or light that their body is emitting. That is what this technology works with. We emit light or heat, our body does. And when you apply this patch, our body's light reflects off of that patch a very specific wavelength of light back into the body. So let me explain that to you. So see that white part? That's what David Schmidt has invented. David Schmidt is the owner of LifeWave. He is the CEO. He is the inventor, the scientist, the researcher. He's been that his entire life, but he has invented patches for the last 20 years. He started 20 years ago working with the Navy SEALs, the U.S. Department of Defense, creating a technology to be able to help turn their body fat into fuel instead of them using amphetamines and caffeine and uppers and things like that. Over the last 20 years, David has invented a dozen patches, all doing different things. But this patch, this X39 stem cell activation patch, took him 10 years in the lab to figure out how to do what I'm going to share with you that it does. And obviously, the two different testimonials you've heard tonight, how can that possibly be happening? So what David invented is in here. It's a crystal lattice structure. It is not a clear quartz crystal or an amethyst type crystal. That's not what I'm talking about. There are not little crystal pieces, rocks inside of this. There are solutions of molecules, stereoisomers. These components, this is what David has created, is a proprietary organic blend of amino acids, oxygen, sugars, and water. They form a lattice structure. It's crystalline, it's reflective. The molecules are in here together. They form together perfectly. That's what stereoisomers do. This is not amino acids like I drink after the gym in the morning. This is not sugar that you're going to find in your pantry. Hope to God you don't have regular sugar in your pantry, but it's not going to be sugar like you would eat, okay? These are molecules, solutions of stereoisomers. They're coming together. So know that they're not entering your body. They're inside of this patch, right? Nothing is entering in. So I put the patch on my body. My body's light hits that and reflects back a very specific wavelength of light between 400 and 1,000 nanometers. Remember me saying proprietary? We don't know exactly what that wavelength of light is. This patch has a 20-year patent on it. So that wavelength of light enters our body, immediately elevates a peptide, GHKCU copper peptide. I love David, on point every single time for 2.5 years. I love it. So GHKCU copper peptide is the peptide that's elevated from this patch. How do we know that? Clinical studies. You can draw the blood, right? We can see the elevation of GHK immediately. We can see it a day later, 2 days later, 7 days later, three weeks later, 3 months later. We can see that elevation of GHK. That peptide's responsible for a lot. Go to PubMed, type in GHKCU copper peptide. Be prepared to be mind blown. But know that after 10 years, David figured out how to use our body's own light to elevate that peptide. One of the things that peptide does is reset a third of your genes. Now, let me say that again. Reset. Perfect, young, youthful, healthy state. Your genes, a third of them, over 4,000 genes reset instantly. Sign me up for that, right? We all have genes in our body. They're upregulating, downregulating all day long, depending on your food, your environment, your water, your thoughts. Just go research epigenetics. But anyway, when you elevate that peptide, one of the genes that's reset is called P63. It mobilizes your own stem cells. Now, if you know stem cells, they're the holy grail of healing, okay? Stem cells are it, but they're invasive. They can be very controversial. They can be maybe not such a great source, right? They could possibly, maybe not do things you want inside of your body. We've seen some pretty adverse side effects, depending on what kind of stem cells you're getting. And they're extremely expensive. This puts nothing in your body, no stem cells, no aborted fetuses, no placental babies, nothing is going in your body. Your body had stem cells when you were born. That's what you were. And they turned into all different cells and organs and tissues. And some of those stem cells were reserved to stay pluripotent so they could help repair and regenerate the body over time. Well, what happens is as we age, we have less and less active stem cells. By the time you're in your 30s, you have half of your stem cells active. By the time you're in your 60s, you have less than 10%. of your own stem cells active. They're there, they're dormant, they're tired, they're wore out. They cannot deal with you anymore. And so what this does is it wakes them up. Let's go. Wake up again. Do what you did when you were a kid. Let's repair and regenerate this body. But here's the thing. This is not an injection. You do not get to pick where your stem cells go first. You heard that Eric put icewave on Jan's back because icewave gets rid of pain on the spot. Like, I don't know that X39 is going to get rid of pain on the spot. Will it repair and regenerate what's going on in her back that's causing that pain? Of course it will over time. But we look at this product is repairing and regenerating whatever your body needs, whatever system, whatever organ, whatever tissue, cell, in the order your body wants and needs. When you cut your finger, I cut my finger, 2 different fingers this week on the knife. I bought new knives, sharp, ooh, cutting limes. So when you cut your finger, it's not the Band-Aid that heals it. When you break your bone, it's not the cast that heals it. It's the body's stem cells inside, right? And so this activates your body's own healing ability to get to work, to do what's needed to repair and regenerate your body in whatever order. Here's what I want you to understand. This will take time. This is not I'm going to put this on. I've had 40 years of problems and it's going to be gone in 30 days. It doesn't work that way. Regenerative medicine, regeneration says, I'm going to take this old organ, this old system, this old cell or tissue, and I'm going to make it young and youthful and new again. That will take time. You have nothing but time, right? You're either going to get older or younger, you pick. So people say all the time, well, how long do you have to patch? I don't want to wear something for the rest of my life. And I'm like, well, you signed up for buying that medication every day for the rest of your life. You go through CVS drive-through every single month like it's no big deal, right? Because the doctor said so. And I'm not saying you don't need or maybe should be taking some medications. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying for the price of a cup of coffee a day, you have the ability to bring your body back into homeostasis. And the longer you wear this patch, the more benefits you will gain. The more things you will cross off your list, the more improvements you will see in your cells, your organs, your tissues, your systems of your body. Give it time. Be patient with that process. You heard the pastor talk about other patches. He wanted to hurry up and target some specific issues, right? You can use those supportive patches as needed to be able to target specific issues, but know that this is where we always start, X39 stem cell activation patch. And you're going to get back with the person that invited you. They are going to help you get set up with whatever patches you want, whatever pack you want. We love the host cell packs. There are many of them to choose from, and you can mix and match and get whatever you want that suits your needs, your desires, your goals. But just know that you're going to use this consistently over time, and you're going to stay hydrated with your clean, healthy water. I like lime in mine. Clean, healthy water. Try not to cut yourself on your knife when you're cutting your limes or your fruit, but make sure you stay hydrated while you're patching. Your cells need that water for the conductivity in the light. So get back with that person, and they are going to help you get set up. So Mars, I'm going to go ahead and stop it from here because we have to move on.